Right. Morning, everyone. We'll start. Business combination. Cell is 3. We have started last week's session. Let me complete the cell 3 today. Started, right? 3. Definitions. Acquire, acquirer, acquiree, non-controlling interest, acquisition date, goodwill, fair value. Then there are 4 steps in acquisition method. What are the methods of acquisition? What are the methods? Identify the acquirer, determine the acquisition date, recognize assets, liabilities, and uncontrolling interest at the date of acquisition, then recognize goodwill or bargaining purchase. We did this practice question, acquisition date, measurement principle, we should measure at fair value. NCI should be measured either fair value or proportionate value of net asset. And there are some exemptions for the recognition principle. LK 37 says contingent liabilities should not be measured or debit and credit in the financial statement, but as specially for S3, we should recognize contingent liability at the date of acquisition. If there are contingent liabilities, we can measure and we can record. Income taxes as well. Right. Goodwill or bargaining purchase, we can calculate goodwill or bargaining purchase through an account or through a format. We did practice question 2 as well, right? We did. Yes. 4. Yes. Question number 4. Clear? 3 color. Clear? 2 color. Right. 3. Do it. Hurry up. Question number 3. Yeah. මේ අද තමයි හොඳම දවස. අද පැය 6ක් කරනවා. ප්‍රොපෝසල් ඉවර කරන්න පුළුවන්. මෙයාලට රිසර්ච් එක ඕගොල්ලෝ. මෙයාලට අච්චරද Right. I need to know the goodwill. Company A has acquired 60% of equity of company B. ඉස්සලා අපි ගාන කියවලා ඕකේ නෙමෙයි මේක ලකුණු Company A has acquired 60% of equity of company B for 150 million. First of February 2018. Fair value of the identifiable net asset 50 million. Calculate the goodwill on the acquisition date. Non-controlling interest calculate book value of the net asset of company B. Right? Cost of control account. Cost of control. Cost of control account. Cost of control. Sorry. Then here we go. Investment. Investment ගන්න කොහෙන්ද? here කියන්නේ acquire එකේ කීයද? ඒක double එක කොහොමද? Investment credit, cost of control debit. ඒක තමයි. හරිද? double එක හිතේ ලියන්නේ investment credit, cost of control debit. ඊළඟට රංජනගේ equity කියලා. ඒ වොන්නේ බල ඒ වොන්නේ. රංජනගේ equity කියලා. 50. That has a 50 double entry. Putake double entry. 50 के double entry. Huh? Equity debit. Equity debit. Right. Sorry. Equity of Ranjani. Equity of Ranjani. The non-controlling interest here. Non-controlling interest. We should get the proportionate value of net asset. Here. Here. On another here. 80% require. 60%. The NCA percentage is 40%. NCA percentage is 40%. Here the Panahi 40%. Here the Visa. Visa double entry. Right, good. Cost of control debit, NCA credit. Right. HR. The double balance color would be like that. Good way. Double entry, good deal like double entry the Fatima. Very good. What was that? All right. Done. Finish. Thank you. Next. Ilagin karan in the Fatima. Question number 4. Question number 4. Question number 4. I need to know either goodwill or bargaining purchase. What grabbing? Monday morning, I think I have one. One day, I have the question. Company X has acquired 70% of equity of company Y for 429 million consideration on 1st of January 2019. The fair value of the identifiable net asset of the company Y 334. Fair value of NCA 136 calculated usually on the both methods mentioned in the SLFRF 3. Right? Okay. So දෙකක් තියෙනවා මේ NCA ගන්න ඒ දෙකටම හදලා බලමු. Page. Page chapter. And then open the pages fill thing. Then give them the look at We will prepare two cost of control account. Two cost of control account. Cost of control. Cost of control. Take cost of control. Right. Now, what is the investment? What is the investment? 429 then. Double entry. Double entry. Cost of control debit. Investment credit. $429. ඒක අතන ක්ලියර් පුළුවන් නේ. සෙරින්නේ. ඒක අතන ක්ලියර් කරලා. Equity. You should take the equity. Equity of some acquiring here. 134. Double entry. Double entry. Equity debit. Cost of control. එකක් දෙන අනිත් පැත්තේ. Right, good. ඊට පස්සේ කොහෙද? අපි මේ ක්‍රමයෙන් හදමු පුතා. NCI fair value. Then break up NCI at fair value. NCI at proportionate value. Right? NCI fair value method. හරිද? අද fair value කියලා NCI එක. This is the formula. That's what I want. Here. 136. Double in the 136. Right. Did you understand? NCI credit, cost of control account, debit. Then top part. NCI. Take it together. Proportionate value of net asset. See this. Happening. See it. See it. See it. Here. Because you see, pahai. Because it is the dekha. Because it is the dekha. 130.2. Right. Now you can see the difference in terms of NCI. Right. Now you can take the goodwill. And that's a definition. Goodwill එක දාන්න ඒකේ. Foto කරන්න. Foto කරන්න. අපිට goodwill එකම දෙකම කොපි කරලා දාන්න. right. Goodwill. Right. See, there is a difference in the goodwill. Why? There is a difference in the goodwill. Why? Here 131, here 125.2. What is the reason? NCI calculation method. Right, thank you very much. Now you can write a small note here, small note here, small notes. When consolidated financial statements are prepared, yes, when consolidated statements, when consolidated financial statements are prepared, when consolidated financial statements are prepared, NCI calculation method, NCI measurement method, NCI measurement method, NCI measurement method is crucial. NCI measurement method is crucial / required to account මොකද්ද කොහෙද පන්තිවල හිටපයි කියන්න මොකටද ඕනේ goodwill මේ ක්‍රම දෙක NCI measurement method එක දෙන්න ඕන මොකක් හදන්නද impairment of goodwill, yes, to account impairment of goodwill, to account impairment of goodwill, to account impairment of goodwill, right? Okay. In this method, if NCI is measured at fair value, NCI is comparatively higher, right? Than this here 130.2, here 136. Difference is 5.8 something. A difference එක තමයි මෙතන පේන්න තියෙන්නේ. Goodwill එකෙන් තියෙන එකනේ. හරි. If NCI is calculated at fair value and later if goodwill impaired, we should take that impairment not only from consolidated retained earnings but also NCI as well, controlling interest, right? But here, if NCI calculated proportionate at fair value, proportionate value of net assets, impairment of goodwill should be taken only from consolidated retained earnings, not from NCI. So that's the difference, right? මේක ඉස්සරහට කතා කරමු දැන් තමයි clear තිබුණා ඇති. හරි? Okay. Fair value, identifiable assets acquired, identifiable at the date of acquisition. Sometimes fair value is not accounted in the financial statements of acquiree, right? By the keyword when Tarak going to acquire Anjali, we should measure assets and liabilities at fair value. Assets and liabilities at fair value. And sometimes Ranjani's financial statement at the carrying value. Therefore, what we need to do, we need to calculate the fair value of assets and liabilities of Ranjani. Sometimes, most of the cases, fair value and the carrying value would be similar. There can be some changes. Fair value and the carrying value would be different. Then, examiner should give you changes, carrying value and the fair value changes. So, we need to account at the date of acquisition. Right? අපි උදාහරණයක් අරන් හිතමු. In Ranjani's Tarat acquire Ranjani. Tarat acquire Ranjani. මම අහනවා Tarat acquire Ranjani. Let's say 100%. Ranjani's financial statement Did not write brand name. Brand name. Ranjani की company में brand name है, you know. But that is not in the Ranjani's financial statement. Should we consider when it comes to consolidation? Ranjani's brand name. Should we consider? Okay. Sarat Ranjani को गाना काले Ranjani की थी ना unrecognized asset का. Salary you do that. Yes, we should consider. So we should record it. कल्पना करके double. अभी तो fair value का brand name के देसी है, million देसी है. 200. What's double? What's double? What's double? Intelligent. Brand name. Brand name. Brand name. What's double? Asset account debit. hari ini kita asset के नाम brand name. Unrecognized on the brand. Brand name debit एक hari. Betul. 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 That is not in the separate financial statement. Anjali's book is console business combination brand name debit kala credit kala. The Ranjani का brand name ठीक बना वो ठीक बना वो कोई लोग इन से पे Ranjani को ठीक बना का रेडी रहती Lanka pintu minimum. Itu temu kan, ya? Arat acquired 100% of Ranjani. Arat invest 100. Let's say Ranjani's net asset. Ranjani's net asset. अभी वो million attack थी ना on a particular date. Net asset. Net asset क्या है पुकार दे? Asset minus liabilities. Asset एक सी बना हम थी ना मेरा है किया दे तो बट अनुवाद ने अनुवाद ने liability अनुवाद तो बट हटाई ने equity हटाई एक ने मिला ने हटाई net asset क्या ना ऊपर का था asset minus liabilities the Ranjani में तो brand name में का net right that is unrecognized इतना brand name का में के उदाहरण तो visa ही brand name मतलब visa दामना net asset का होगा कोई net asset increase होने पहले net asset एक देर ना दे net asset increase होने तो मैं visa लिया ना है visa लिया ना है the initial stage what we should do first of control investment 100 net asset here 60 NCI 0 then on the unrecognized visa gonna kiya वो तो करा double entry इतना किया double entry इतना किया this adjustment should be appeared in the consolidated financial statement not in the separate financial statement पता नहीं होगा ना अरे separate financial statement के रांझनी की ताली व्यापार ने भी वो लिया कुछ लिया console लगा देंगे console लगा देंगे तर मैं गिनूँ हारा आता भाई अभी एक गान में डबल एंट्री किया इतना लग गया पाटा पाटा ना ये बोया कितना උත්සාහ කරන්න කියන්නේ. You said මොකක් කර එකක් එකෙන්ටක් කිව්වනේ. මොකද කිව්වේ? asset account debit හරි. credit කරන්න. cost of control. Cost of control credit 20. And another brand name. විස්තර කරලා. දැන් මෙතන මේ දෙක එකතු 80යි. මේ දෙක එකතු 80යි හරිද? මේ 20 මෙතන දාලා තිබුණා මෙතන 80ක් එන්න එපානේ. දාලා තිබ්බනම් අපි ඒ ඉම්පැක්ට් එක දාන්නේ. Double entry brand name debit cost of control credit. Got it? Right. ඊට පස්සේ goodwill කීයද? goodwill square. Got it? There are unrecognized assets as well as unrecognized liabilities. Contingent liabilities can be there. So, if there is a contingent liability, what is the double entry? Ranjani has a contingent liability. Hence, double entry. Contingent liability credit. Then, where is the cost of control? Harita. Okay, that's better. Okay, everything there. Right, question number 5. We'll do question number 5. Uday. Let's read the question. अभी क्या इस पॉइंट है ना वेगी जाना right? मैं कराने में मेरे को करो हुआ है क्या? आज मैंने कराने तो वो आज इस पॉइंट है ना इसे रीड करो मैं वो बातें रीड करो हम लोग देखो ना सबसे read and try to understand. तो भी अकाउंट से नोट डालने हैं डन एक टाइम टेबल डालने हैं मतलब तेरू करने से अलग presentation मतलब instructions सुनना नहीं है group presentation मतलब मैं इसी तरह की बात हो बताइए मेरे देखो dependent information है और descriptive statistics है now submit the next down submit करे बाकी signature करे तो Galle na gila. Ever hariya? Okay, the table that me. Hariya sa. Hariya sa. Hadar ke mo. Sudah table tu. Sudah table. Dambul company acquired 90% of Alupugava in 2009 at the cost of 340. Carrying amount of the net asset 320. Varane vachana carrying amount of the net asset. Carrying amount of the net. ये vachane पहले carrying value के book value के carrying value. Fair value of identifiable net is 350. Vara 320 then 350 वटे वेनास लेंटो. You are given reasons for that. एम किया वेनास ने. 30 वेनास. 30 वेनास ने. 30 वेनास. Alupugava had developed brand name 20, but it is not recognized in subsidiaries or acquirees financial statement. Which side? एक अभी record कर. Land with a carrying amount 65, the fair value of 10 million in excess. Land එකක් තියෙනවලු 65යි carrying value එක. ඒකේ fair value එක 10ක් වැඩි. ඒ කියන්නේ 75ක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. එහෙනම් 10ක් නක් ගන්න ඕනේ. 10 double entry මොකක්ද? හරි? ඉතින් අපි 65 record කරන්න ඉන්නේ අපි. ඉතින් ඒක කරන්න ඕනේ. Non-controlling interest measured proportionate net asset calculate goodwill. හරි. උදාහරණ. ඒක දැන් cost of control account එකක් ගන්න. Cost of control. Cost of control. Good. Cost of control. Hare? Isal investment. Kiyadu muta investment එක 340. පස්සේ net asset එක දාගමු අපි. Carrying value of net asset දාගමු. Carrying value of net asset දාගමු. කීයද? 350 නේ. 350යිද පුතා? Equity කියලා දාගන්න. It's 320 ද? ඒක අපි double end එකක් කරනවා. මොකද දාලා හරියන්නේ. මොකද මේක මොකක්ද? එයාට මොකක්ද? අන්න ලොකෝ. 3 එතන දාගන්න මොකද්ද 320 320 පැහැදිලිද ඩබල් එක යන්න ඕන නේද right දැන් මොකද කියන්නේ දැන් බලන්න හිතා දාන්න මෙහෙම මේ බෝඩ් එකේ දාන එක ලියන්න යන්නේ නැහැ හරිද you should answer wait for the answer here you should provide the answer first then brand එක දාලින් double end මොකද්ද brand debit cost of control credit 20 brand account එක debit වෙන්න ඕනේ that should be reflected in the consolidated financial position brand එක consolidated financial position එකේ ලියන්න ඕනේ ඒක හරි ඊළඟ for the land එකනේ land carrying value is 65 ඒක තියෙනවද 220 මුල තියෙනවා නේද තියෙනවා ඒකේ fair value එක තව 10ක් වැඩි ඉලු double entry asset එක මොකක්ද? Then debit, credit, cost of control credit. හරියට asset කියන්න එපා. හරියට නිශ්චිතව කියන්න ඕන මොකක්ද කියලා. මුලින්ම asset කියලා recognize කරන්න එක හරි, but you should know the specific asset. හරි. දැන් හරිනේ. දැන් NCI ගන්න. What is NCI? කොහොමද ගන්න NCI? කොහොමද හදන්නේ? හරි කීයද? this කොහොමද? හරිනේ. උදා හොඳයි. කාල 100න් 90 අඩු කරාම NCI කියන 10%යිනේ. 10%. 350න් තමයි 10% ගන්න. ඉතින් දෙයක් ගන්න යන්න. ඔබ 370 පමණයි. What's the goodwill? 25. Goodwill debit, cost of control. Right, thank you very much. Okay, අර උත්තරේ දාගත්තා කියලා හිතනවා. සමහර අය ඉන්නවා මේකේ උත්තරේ දාන්නකම් ඉන්නවා ලියාගෙන. එහෙම අයට you should provide the answer first. Thank you. And you should provide the answer first. You have given enough time. එන තනියෙන් උත්තරයක් දෙන්න ඔළුව හැදිලා තියෙනවා. තනියෙන් උත්තරයක් දෙන්න ඔළුව හැදිලා තියෙනවා. ලියාගෙන ඉන්න. Right. Right. Now we talk about contingent consideration. Contingent consideration transfer, right? So let me discuss. I hope you understood up to this point. හරිනේ ඔක්කොම හරිය වේගෙන් යනවා තමයි ඒ ස්පීඩ් එකට එන්න ඕන. හරිද? තරත් acquire Ranjani, let's say 80% for 1,000, investment is 1,000. Investment is 1,000. Cost of control. Investment 1,000. On 1st of January 2025, Sarat acquired Ranjani's 80% of equity. So equity, let's say 900. Equity, let's say 900. This is the fair value of the net asset of Ranjani. Then may Ranjani become Ranjani Sally kiya dila dinawada? But agreed amount or the real value value of the Ranjani is fair value is 900, right? Fair value of 900. Ranjani's purchase consideration is 1200, right? 1200. Then Sarath has mentioned, okay, today I will pay 1000. Today I will pay 1000 again on the acquisition date 1000. If you Ranjani very difficult to predict Ranjani's behavior. Very difficult to predict. Ranjani harima venas වෙන සුළුයි. ඒ නිසා රංජනී එදා 200ක් දීලා තමයි ගන්න ඕනේ. නමුත් සරත් කියන එකපාර 1200 දෙන්න බයයි සරත්. සරත් මොකද කියන්නේ? ඔයා හොඳට හිටියොත් ඉතිරි 200 දෙනවා අවුරුදු දෙකකට පස්සේ. හොඳට හිටියොත්. මොකද මෙයා කියනවා මොනවද පෙර වැරදි ටිකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ නිසා හොඳට හිටියොත් ඉතිරි 200 දෙනවා අවුරුදු දෙකකට පස්සේ. දෙකක් බලනවා කාලයක් දෙනවා රංජනී. මොකද කරන්නේ? 1st of January 2027 තමයි 200 දෙන්නේ. 2027 තමයි 200 දෙන්නේ. 1000 already paid. 1000 already paid. එතකොට අර 200 වෙන contingent වගේ නේද? හිටියොත් දෙනවා. 200. එහෙනම් ඒකේ මොකද ගන්න ඕනේ? If there are similar cases, what you need to do is you need to take the present value of this contingent cash flows. You need to discount this. Discount. Multiply at discounting factor. So you should be given discounting factor. Let's say 10%. 10% ගිලේද මම කියලා අවුරුදු දෙකක මෙදාන බින්නේ දැන් අවුරුදු දෙකකට එක කියලා 0.826 that value equals divided by 1 plus r power of 2 0.826 එහෙනම් ඒක වැඩි කරන්න 200 කියලා දෙන්න පුතා කියලා දෙන්න මම 165. Under 65 double entry. On the acquisition date, we need to record it. What's the double entry? What's the double entry? What's the double entry of this 165? We should record it. Record කරන්න ඕන මොකක්ද? Equity debit, cost of control credit. Equity credit. Equity debit. Equity debit. Equity. Logical. Equity. cost of control debit, contingent liability. Contingent liability වලදී මේක මොකක්ද වචනේ? මේක වෙලා අපිට එන්නේ අපිට ඇත්තටම provision එකක් තමයි දාන්න ඕනේ. We have not paid yet. අන්ජයේට අපි සරත් ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. අන්න මොකක්ද ඒකද? Liability එකක්, provision එකක්, liability එකක්, provision එකක්. Provision එකක් දෙදීම හරද බැලද? බැලනේ. Provision එකක් දෙදීම බැල. ඉතින් තමයි එන්න ඕනේ. අන්න පුතේ කාරින් කිව්වා. Provision credit. Provision for contingent consideration. Another provision for contingent consideration. You should provide credit. ඒක legal what in between cost of control. අද මුදා ප්‍රොෆිට් මුදා. ඒ තමයි මෙතන. Provision for contingent consideration. දැක්කද? ඒක කොහෙද මුලක් හොයාගන්නවා. ඒක මොකක්ද? Provision එකක්. ඒ වෙලා නෑ තම liability එකක්. Liability increases credit. එම මුල්ලක් හොයාගන්නවා. එකපාරට contingent consideration double entry හිතන්න අමාරු වෙයි. හරි? මුල්ලක් කොනක් හොයාගන්න. ඉතින් සිතුවිල්ල පහල කරා. එහෙම නේද පුරුදු වෙන්න. ඉතල කඩවාගෙන කරන්න බෑ. think about it. Well, yeah. You should take the present value of contingent consideration. You know how to calculate present value, right? You should take the present value. ඊට පස්සේ සාමාන්‍ය විදිහට සුද්ධිය ගන්න. NCA එක දාලානේ. එතන NCA එක දාන්න ඕනේ නේද? දාලා සාමාන්‍ය විදිහට ගන්න. හතර. ඔය ඉස්සරහට අපි ගන්නෙ. මොකටද දෙනවා chance එකක්? white board එකේ ලියන skill එක එනවා. කවුද ගන්නේ? ඒක දායනවා මේක. Question number 7. Read first. අපතර ගොඩක් තියෙනවා ඒකනේ. ගොඩක් ලොකු ගානක්. ගානක්. Read. Yes. Read and answer. Waiting for you. ඔයාලා හැදුවම අපි හදන්න. මේක දිහා බලන් ඉන්න තමයි වෙන කරන්නේ. ඒක ටිකක් ඉඳලා හදුවේ. තමයි ඔයාලා දිහා බලන් ඉන්න. හරි දිහා බලන්න. The read करा. Right. Shall we start then? What you need to do is you need to prepare cost of control account and calculate the goodwill or bargaining purchase. That's what you need to do. Cost of control account. Cost of control. Cost of control. Hari. What is the investment? What is the percentage of acquisition? 80%, right? 80% of 80 million shares. 75 million. 75% of 80 million. The number of shares. Number of shares. Here, how many millions of shares that they have acquired? 75% of 80 million. 60 million. 60 million. Kiyak gane givala gane. Ek share kiyak gane 25 per share. Per share. Rupiah 25. Rupiah 25 වැඩි කිරීම 60 million. Kiyada? 1,500. That is the investment. Double it over. Right. And it is 1,500. Investment is 1,500. Double entry. Investment credit. Cost of control. In a equity, carrying value of the equity. ඒක වෙන වෙනම දීලා තියෙන share capital වෙනමයි එහෙම දීලා තියෙන්නේ. දැන් equity කියලා equity දීලාද? හා? කොහොමද කියන්නේ? කොහොමද දීලා දෙන්නේ මට කියවන්න? කොහොමද දීලා තියෙන්නේ? කොහොමද ඉතින් equity වෙනම දීලා තියෙන්නේ? වෙනම equity දීලා නැත්තම් මොකක්ද දීලා තියෙන්නේ? මොකක්ද දීලා තියෙන්නේ? share capital වෙනම දීලාද? එහෙනම් carrying value of net asset. ඒ කියන්නේ ඉක්විලි තමයි. ඉක්විලි තමයි. carrying value of net asset කියන්නේ ඉක්විලි තමයි. හරි. කීයද? $2,300. Yes, correct. It was it. Fair value of net asset has been given, right? Double entry. Double entry. Fair value of net asset. Fair value of NCI කියලා දීලා තියෙනව නේද? 250 දීලා තියෙන්නේ. Double entry. Credit. හරියට හරි. දාන්න. අක්කලා දාන්න. NCI credit, cost of control debit. NCI කියන්නේ මොකද? ඒස් කරලා. ඉතින් මේ යට ගන්න. අනේ ඔබ. ඒ ඉතින් ඔව්. 250. NCI 250. Next one, the fair value of C's head office was determined to exceed its carrying amount by 50. 50 කියලා දෙනවා. double entry. පුතා කියන double entry. Head office debit. Cost of control credit. හරි දාන්න. අංගල billing කියලා දාන්න. billing කියලා දාන්න. billing මනේ asset එකනේ. billing 50 කියලා දාන්න. හරි. ඒක හරි. අපි යනවා ඊළඟ D එක කියවනවා. S company had not recognized publishing title in its own financial statement. This was deemed to have fair value of 8 million. Publishing title. That's the intangible asset. Double entry. Intangible asset debit. Cost of control. Intangible asset. Publishing title එක තමයි එන්න publishing title debit. Cost of control. ඊළඟ එක S company had disclosed contingent liability resulting from legal case. The maximum exposure 25 million. Fair value of contingent liability 15 million. Contingent liability. Debit. Contingent liability. Credit. Clear. 25 15 දාන්න. Fair value කියලා කිව්වනේ asset liability should be recognized at fair value. So directly it has been given. Right? Good. අපි තා එකක් මිස් කරලා නැවිලා දෙන්න උඩ. It paid 25 per share and agreed to pay further 1,080 million in 1st of January 2007. ඒක දැම්මේ නැහැ නේද? දැන් අපි 1000 කීයද කියලා 1500ක් ගෙවනවා on 1st of January 2006. Another 1,080 need to be paid after 1 year. එහෙනම් ඒක මොකක්ද ගන්න ඕනේ? Present value should be taken. කීයද present value ගත්තොත් 108ට ගන්න ඕනේ. Here, 1,000 double involved. Provision for contingent consideration. Provision for contingent consideration. Credit. TOC debit. Cost of control debit. 1000 kilo. Provision kilo. Provision. Provision. For contingent consideration. 1000. Okay. Provision for contingent consideration credit. Cost of control debit. That's balance. NCI got the name. The NCI did the What's the total? What's the total? Itu tuh kalau ada goodwill hoya kan kill goodwill, pasal goodwill. Dedas asih hata pakai. Dedas asih hata pakai. What is the goodwill? 407. Right. Okay. Done. Thank you very much. You did nice job. Alright. Alright. Cost of control account take a head work. So with that, SLFR is 3 done. Finish. Make it up, Galle. And there are disclosures. You need to read them. Now, the Mokada viewer correct. Taraki Ranjini Moka viewer correct. Very next. The Mokada. The Mokada Karanti. Now we should know how to prepare consolidated financial statement. What is the standard? SLFRS. Take 2 pages. Take 2 pages. In the middle, you could write SLFRS 10. Consolidated financial statement. Consolidated financial statement. In the middle, you could write it. SLFRS 10. Right, okay, we'll talk about SLFRS 10, consolidated financial statements. First thing, definitions. Under definitions, you should write parent, subsidiary, group, parent, subsidiary, group, Parent subsidiary group. Parent subsidiary group. Parent subsidiary group. NCI, control, power. Just write down as a list. Objective of the standard. The standard prescribes how to prepare consolidated financial statements. You know here, establish principles, presentation, and preparation of consolidated financial statements, right? Consolidated financial statements. What do you mean by that? First, we'll talk about parent. What is parent? Who is parent? Who is parent? Entity which controls one or two entities, subsidiaries, right? Entity that controls one or more entities. Parent. Can parent කෙනෙක් වෙන්න නම් parent කෙනෙක් වෙන්න නම් යාළුවා කවුද ඉන්න ඕන? ළමයි ඉන්න ඕන. parent කෙනෙක් වෙන්න නම් ළමයි ඉන්න ඕන. නේද? parent කෙනෙක් කියන්නේ ළමයි ඉන්න ඕන. ඒව කියන්නේ සරත් රංජනී ළමෙක් නෙමෙයි. It's a different story. කියන්නේ control කරන්න කෙනෙක් ඉන්න ඕන. control කරන්න කෙනෙක් ඉන්න ඕන. control කරනවා නම් යම් කෙනෙක් අන්නේ control කරන කෙනාට අපි කියන මොකක් කවුරු කියලාද? parent. Subsidiary. Entity which is controlled by another entity. That's how standard explain or define. What is subsidiary එක කියන්නේ? Entity which is controlled. Passive voice thing. Which is controlled by another entity. Group කියන්නේ parent and its all subsidiaries. So ඔක්කොටම කියන්නේ group කියලා. ඒතර අපි group එකකට එක financial statement එකක් හදන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතර group එක කියන එක reporting entity එකක් වෙනවා. Right? Group is a reporting entity as well as conceptual framework. Reporting entity. අහලා දෙනවා reporting entity. වාර්තා කරන එකකයක්. හරි. The group consolidated financial statement can be the financial statements of a group. Financial statement of a group. Right? Subsidiary, NCI, already we have defined. NCI is a part of equity of subsidiary which is not controlled directly or indirectly to a parent. Right? Subsidiary entity that is controlled by another entity. That's scope. Very important. Make money now. Whatever. Sarat acquired Ranjani 100%. Sarat acquired Ranjani is 100% of equity. Ranjani acquired Namal, let's say 80%. 80%. Right? In this case, how many subsidiaries? Two subsidiaries. Ranjani and Namal. How many parents? How many parents? many parents? One parent. You are saying one parent. How many parents? Here. She was saying one day. Okay. Parents. Two parents. Two parents. Parents here. Two parents. Two parents. How the parents lah? Sarat is a parent then. Sarat is a parent. Like Ranjani now. Ranjani is a normal thing. Controlling everything. You must say Ranjani. Ranjani subsidiary is good enough. Good. Hey, Ranjani controls Nama. As per SLFRS 10, parent company should prepare consolidated financial statement. Correct? Parent company should prepare consolidated financial statement. ARO balanakota kawuda full hadanno. Sara should prepare for the full. Account again was Nama, also Ranjani. Ranjani also a parent. You know, Ranjani has not paid theoretically. Right? Theoretically. And then again, under the scope of SLFRS 10, they explain, the standard explains the exemption. Explain the exemption. The exemption is the rule. Then may Rupasan and the guy, Sarah, Ranjani, Nama, the percentage under the scope, Tagala, either. Right? Then, can Sarah escape from the preparation of consolidated financial statement? Can Sarah escape? Cannot. Sarah cannot escape. Sarah is the ultimate pain. Who is Ranjani? 100% of full subsidiary of fully owned subsidiary of Sarah. Make one. Make a full when not full work, make 80% full in partially owned, subsidiary. Right? Make you tackle everyone in the class read entity that is the parent shall present consolidated financial statement. Except this standard applies to all entities except like here it is the wholly owned subsidiary. How do you make it? Wholly owned subsidiary. Sir, एक आपको क्या लग गया है? Nama. Nama. Oh, may almost mean wholly owned subsidiary or partially owned subsidiary. 100% acquire करो. Fully owned 80, 70, 60 वगैरह acquire करो. Partially owned subsidiary. एक हाली तो और लोग ने क्या है? Ranjani का किया. नाम वाले पता करना है वो कहते हैं. नाम वाले तो ना पेरेंट. या subsidiary या मोहम्मद कौन सा लगा नोट पे? Right. It was material. And all its other owners, all its other owners, again, may then Ranjani innone then 80% got of them, 20% in other owners, including those not otherwise entitled to vote, have been informed about and do not object the parent not to present consolidated financial statement. Again, කිසිම objection එකක් තියෙන්න බෑ. console එක හදාන්නේ නැතිවීම සම්බන්ධව. හරිද කියන්නේ? objection තියෙන බෑ අර NCI එකෙන් කියන්නේ අර අනිත් party, other party should not object for not presenting consolidated financial statement for Anjali's point of view. හරිද? ඒක පළවෙනි condition එක. හරිද? මේ exemption එක ගන්න පළවෙනි condition. I hope that is clear. ඊට පස්සේ its debt or equity instruments are not traded in public market. කාගේ බද? රංජනීගේ. රංජනීගේ shares එහෙම public market එක මේ market එකක transactions වෙන එකක් වෙන්න බෑ. And they are not in a position to file in a public market. It did not file. No. It is in the process of filing. Financial Services Securities Commission or other regulatory organization for purpose of issuing any class of instruments in public market. Public market යනවා නම් එහෙම ගැලවෙන්න බෑ. එයා අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම consolidation රංජනිත් හදන්න ඕනේ. තේරුණා? What is power? Power. කෝපෙ විලාගත්තනේ හරිද? Refer the note කියලා දාන්න. Refer the slide. Refer the slide. Slide number එක දාගන්න. Now we'll talk about the power. Power. What is power? Investor has power over investee when investor has existing rights that give it the current ability to direct the relevant activities. Now, the current government has power to direct the country, relevant activities of the country, right? A power එකත් එක්ක තමයි මොකක්ද කියන්නේ control එක. තේරෙනවද? power එකත් එක්ක තමයි control එක. That is activities that significantly affect the investee's return. Investee කියන්නේ කවුද මෙතන? රංජන. Investee කියන්නේ රංජන. Investor කියන්නේ තරම්. Power can be obtained directly from the ownership of majority or can derive from other rights such as සමහරලාට වෙන ක්‍රම වලින් power මේ මොනව කරන අවස්ථා තියෙනවද? control කරන power එක තියාගන්න ක්‍රම තියෙනවා. මොනවද ඒ? බලන්න. Rights to appoint, reassign or remove key management personnel through the constitution of the country. President has that power. Executive powers. President has right to appoint, reassign, remove secretaries to the ministries, right? The relevant activities direct කරන power එක දීලා දෙනවා කොහෙද දීලා දෙන්නේ? through the constitution. Right? Right to appoint, remove another entity that directs the relevant activities. Ministers, cabinet president. President. Cabinet ministers ලා තමයි ඊට පස්සේ සභාපතිලා ලේක මේ කට්ටිය පත් කරන්නේ. තේරුණාද? හරි. දැන් සමහර ඒවා අයින් කරන්න සමහර වෙලාවට පාර්ලිමේන්තු එකේ බලයක් අවශ්‍ය වෙන අවස්ථා තියෙනවා නේ. ඔය පොලිස්පති අයින් කරන්න එහෙම පාර්ලිමේන්තු එකේ මේ මොකක්ද ඕනේ? මොකක්ද විශ්වාස භංගයක් කියනෝනේ. විශ්වාස භංගයක් ගෙනල්ලා තමයි අයින් කරන්නේ. දැන් ඒක තමයි මේ දවස්වල කරගෙන යන්නේ. පොලිස්පති අයින් කරනවා. එතකොට එහෙම ඒවත් තියෙනවා. ප්‍රෙසිඩන්ට් 100%ක් මෙහෙම බලය දීලා නැති තැන් තියෙනවා. Right, okay. Accounting we come. Go to next wing of the. Go to next wing. Accounting treatment. Accounting treatment. Accounting treatment. Accounting treatment. Now, when consolidated financial statements are prepared, there should be uniform accounting policies. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Sara has different accounting policies. Ranjani has another policy. Difficult to console, not match as such. Therefore, there should be uniform accounting policies. මෙහෙමනේ සරත් බලය තියෙනවනේ රංජනී වෙනස් වෙන්න ඕන. රංජනී වෙනස් වෙන්න ඕන. සරත් has power. හරි. රංජනී control එක යනවනේ සරත්. ඒතර සරත් කියන විදිහට තමයි accounts ටික හදාගන්න කවුද? රංජනී. හරි. රංජනී හදාගන්නවා. Consolidation of an investee shall begin from the date the investor obtains the control. Right? As for the SLFRS 3, we should recognize goodwill or bargaining purchase. There are some entries to be passed. Already you are aware of. NCI is part of equity of subsidiary company. That should be reflected in the consolidated financial position. Now, the consolidation process again. Consolidated financial statements those are not in the separate financial statements. Consolidated financial statements goodwill, NCI, unrecognized assets, unrecognized liabilities, then provision for contingent consideration. Consolidated financial statement. Mechanism of consolidation. Remember, line by line addition. Consolidation mechanism is line by line addition. Consolidation mechanism. Consolidation mechanism, line by line addition. That's the word, line by line addition. Consolidation mechanism is line by line addition. Line by line addition. Line by line addition. Consolidation mechanism is line by line addition. Line by line addition. What are the components of consolidated financial statement? Next week. What are the components of consolidated financial statement? Components. Components of consolidated financial statement. පහක් තියෙනවා. මේ පහම ලියා ගන්නත් අරවම තමයි consolidated financial position. Consolidated statement of financial position. Consolidated statement of financial position. Number 1. Number 2. Consolidated statement of profit and loss and other comprehensive income. Consolidated statement of financial position. Consolidated statement of profit and loss and other comprehensive income. Consolidated statement of changes of equity. Consolidated statement of changes of equity. Next. Consolidated statement of cash flow. Consolidated statement of cash flow. Last one. Consolidated notes. Financial statements. Consolidated notes. Financial statements. Consolidated notes of the financial statement. Consolidated notes of the financial statements. Right, okay. We'll do practice question number 1. We'll do practice question number 1 quickly. Kita akan another one. Then small announcement from Galle Club for 5 minutes. Huh?
So guys, morning, 10:30 morning. So before I have come and already talked about Galle Club with you all, I gave the introduction and everything. So how many of you all are there in the Galle group now? No one? The Galle Club group? Alright, there are few. So in the main group, we share all the information regarding the Galle Club. If you all want to join, I think you all have my number. So you all can contact me. I'll add you all to the group. These are things which I have already mentioned. So if you all are consistently attending meetings, we will consider you as a charter member. Just because I add you to this group doesn't mean that you all are a proper member. So this is where we share information. So when you all attend 2 or 3 meetings consistently and we see that you are passionate about it and you are serious about it, then we'll consider you a charter member. The reason is that we cannot have unlimited members because we have to pay a fees to the Galle. So right now we don't take fees from the student. The club is paying on behalf of the students. Therefore, we cannot have unlimited number of students. So if you all are serious and if you all are joining consistently, we will consider you as a charter member. So that is one side. That's about Galle Club. So the main reason we are here today is the main inauguration ceremony of Galle Club will be happening on the 24th of April. So for that ceremony, there will be really important people attending, and even all the students are invited. However, only a limited number of students will be accepted to participate because it's being held at CA on 24th of April after 6 p.m. onwards. So if you all want to join that ceremony, there's no charges. We don't charge any fees. Like you all can contact me and I will put you all on the list. So it's based on first come first served basis, right? So after everyone after all the seats are allocated, then we won't be able to accommodate new members, not members, participants for the ceremony. But we don't have limitation for the members when it comes to Galle Club. If you are participating actively, we'll be able to accommodate. Even today, we have a meeting from 6 to 8 p.m. All of you all can join if you all want. There's no any issues. You all can come and stay and so on. But the thing is, for the installation ceremony, we need sponsors because we have to conduct the ceremony in a very nice way. So we need sponsors. So the reason we are here is to request you all to bring in sponsors. If you all know any businesses who will be willing to provide sponsorship, if you are working companies which will be willing to provide sponsorships, there are like 3 slots. Like they can give any amounts they want, but however, like the 3, it's like 15,000, 20,000, and 25,000. So if the person of business who is sponsoring the event, if they are requiring any special benefits like distributing their product, making banners and stuff, that also we can accommodate. There's no issues in that. All these guidelines will be sharing to you all through the coordinator. We will share to you all, and you all can go through that. We have the commitment letter, proposal letter, even the email body we have made everything. So what you all have to do is find an organization and kind of bring some organizations, bring some sponsors. So that's what we did right now. It will be really appreciated because you all are also a part of sub-campus, right? So more or less, you all are, it's a responsibility for all the students to make the Galle club is of sub-campus. So it's Galle club of sub-campus. Your students are also having a responsibility to contribute. Therefore, if you all are willing to do it, if you all are able to bring in sponsors, contact me, and we will get in touch with you all. And also to the coordinators, I will share the guidelines and everything. So there's a link through which you all can access all the documents. And if you all want to join the Galle club as well, you can drop me a message and I'll see you there.
And Abdullah, small thing, you should explain why they should join.
Yeah. I come before and I explain this that.
Did you explain?
Yeah. The introduction of your stuff.
You have done right.
This is my second.
Clear, right? Clear. Why you should join Galle Club?
So I told you. So
Galle Club is not only for the people who can speak English, right? Other people also should join to improve. There are a lot of activities that you organize to improve language as well, right? There are a lot of activities, right? But I would see so many of all the organizations, right? Most of organizations. So there is tend to participate. Participants would be from a niche area, right? Did you see that? The students are coming from a niche area, but that should be given to everyone, right? Did you understand it? So please motivate participants to participate. Right? Otherwise, they are thinking, people who can speak in English join Galle Club.
especially for the people who to improve this.
Yes, that's what I wanted to emphasize. Right? So there are a lot of courses, activities. Activities
So obviously, like this Galle Club, as you all know, they'll also give the introduction. So what you do is it's actually free of charge. You all shouldn't pay anything to us, or you all won't be getting. You all don't have any expenses to make here. Everything will be given, and also so like we have things like the round robin session, the impromptu speech, and we have icebreakers.
Right, like Toastmaster.
Yes, it's more like the Toastmaster. And since this is conducted in the university level, we are naming it as the Galle Club.
It is.
It is Toastmaster, but we cannot use that name. That's why we are even going for the charter installation, where we'll be officially establishing the Galle Club in our campus. So it's the place where you all can make mistakes. Mistakes are highly encouraged. And trust me, nobody's gonna laugh at your mistake. They will be evaluating you and they will be telling you how to improve your area. What are the areas you have to improve? Your grammar, your gestures, how you speak to in public. When you come to public speaking, it's not always about holding a mic and you get onto a stage and speak. I think I'm also a student of Mr. Sir. I'm in my 4th year. I learned cooperating financial reporting. Sir gave us the opportunity to come to the board and do the sums. I saw that the one who's wearing the yellow was also doing the same thing. Do you know how impactful it is? It is also the way how you learn to present yourself. Be it in your organization, you become seniors one day and you have to teach your juniors. How are you going to do that? Your training should be impactful to the others. Okay, so those are the kind of little things I think we have to improve. So, and you know one thing, practice makes you perfect. Without doing this sums, can you go and do it the first time in the exam? You have to practice. So if you need to improve your presentation skills, your public speaking skills, where are you going to practice? Are you going to practice at home? Are you going to practice with your friends? No, right? Just tell me, any one of you, whether you all have done this in the past. Nobody has done it. So where are you going to practice? We as seniors, we didn't get this opportunity. We are in our last year. But what we're doing is we are trying to do something good for the campus and for our juniors. Okay, so there can be age difference, but still you all are juniors. So what I'm telling is, come join with us. Take out this opportunity. You all are actually, this is a very kind of a rare opportunity, okay, given by us to you all, and also the campus is highly supportive to us. So join here because that's the only place, Galle is the only place where you can practice your public speaking, presenting skills, your gestures, anything. Okay, because any organization you go, you have to face an interview also. So interview, you have to market yourself. How are you going to speak with them? Because the first time you're going to see them. Okay, so for that, it will be helpful for you. Everything will be taught. At the first day, you don't have to come and speak. Okay, you all can come as guests and you all can come and watch what we are doing. And then if you are interested, yes, please come join with us. You all can see the people who are there in the club, they're in different levels. Someone are progressive, someone are very weak. But you can see gradually, if you remember, how those very less active people, the ones who are having problems in communication, how they have increased in their levels of their competency in English. It's not, don't think, okay, you all don't know English, or maybe not come and speak. It's all right. You all are welcome. So please do join the today's meeting. Your lectures, I think your lectures are also finished by 6, isn't it? So the meeting started at 6:10. Okay, so I think you all can just spend another 2 hours of time and join with us and see what's there and help us with our sponsorship and to make this installation just the first time we as a club getting together and doing this we all and this will be established in future also. So I hope everyone is clear. Any questions? You can reach out now.
The many students who have already joined it, so you all can communicate with them and ask what are the experience and everything.
Yes.
You can you also join.
Is Fatima joined, right? Fatima,
Yeah, students have joined.
this one, join. Right now, generally less participation. Generally less participation, but this opportunity should be given to everyone. Right? Now, there are peers. There are no lecturers as such. Only peers, right? And I can remember, counting. How when we speak, how many E's, and there is a person appointed from the group, he or she would count within 2 minutes. Maybe there is a topic to be a topic, and you need to speak. Let's say for mother, the topic is mother, or yourself, myself. In that particular 2 minutes, how many sounds coming in? So that's like a game. So you can enjoy that. Right? Small group. Don't take 101 people in a one group and ask them to speak. Right? Divide. If there are 50 students, maximum 10.
Usually we have around like 15 members.
Whatever you decide. You decide. But small group. Right? They should be in comfortable zone. Right? So facilitate for that and ask them to improve their presentation as you said. And the table topic.
We have
And prepared speech. Prepared speech. The hammer prepared again. The speech prepare well. You should do it. Prepared speech.
It's voluntary.
Voluntary.
Everything is voluntary. If you are only want to go speech to improve, yes, you are given the chance. Everything is voluntary. No one is compelled to do anything.
Take the chance. Volunteer window.
Yes.
Volunteer window. ඒක තමයි එදගෙන small groups යන්න ඕන. නැත්නම් බය වෙනවනේ කතා කරන්නේ. The initial stage you have to have proper strategy, allocate group rooms, and there are peers, seniors like even in Galle. Very nice. The networking, lot of benefits are there. Not only improving your soft skills, there are a lot of benefits. Right? Okay then. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, guys.
Right. Now we'll do question number 1. Question number 1. Question number 1. We'll do this question. Prepare statement of consolidated financial position of A and its group. 31st March 2008. That is the reporting date. In this case, preparation date and the acquisition date same. No NCI. 100% acquisition. A acquired under very simple. Very simple question. And very simple. Acquisition date and the preparation date same. No NCI. Following question. Then now you are given carrying values as well as fair values. Carrying values as well as fair values. Company A is the Sarat ne A kya? Ranjani kya ne B. Sarat kya carrying value to fair value. When you are going to do the line by line addition. Sarat kya carrying value to fair value. अपना क्या लग गया? Sarat kya Sarat kya carrying value to fair value. Ranjani kya carrying value. Sarat kya Sarat තමයි රංජනීව අත්පත් කරගන්න. සරත් කියන්නේ මොන වැලියු එකද? කැරින් වැලියු. සරත් මොකද ෆෙයා වැලියු කියන්නේ? හරිද? සරත් කියන්නේ මොන වැලියු එකද? කැරින් වැලියු. රංජනීගේ තමයි ෆෙයා වැලියු ගන්න. රංජනීනේ මිලට එළියට යන්න සරත් තමයි ඒ ගාන දීලා ගන්නෙ. From Sarat's book you should take what? Carrying value. රංජනීගේ ගන්න මොකක්ද? fair value. ඒක පැහැදිලිනේ. රංජනීගෙන් ගන්නවද fair value? ඒ පැහැදිලිව කිව්වා assets and liabilities should be recognized at fair value. fair value. ඒක හරි. දැන් කවුන්ටර් එක හදන්න. රූල් කරගන්න හරිද? රූල් කරගන්න. ඔයගොල්ලෝ ලියා කරන්නද? ඔව් කරන්නේ. ආපහු කරන්න තමයි. ප්‍රැක්ටිස් කරන එක වටිනවා. ලියන්න ඕනේ ලියා ගන්න. A and its group As at 31st March 2018, consolidated financial position. Consolidated financial position. A ගන්න ඕන carrying value, B ගන්න ඕන fair value. මේ අවසාන columns එක තමයි අපි එකතු කරන්නේ. Last two columns. අද මේ මැද columns එක දීලා තියෙන්නේ for you to select appropriate columns. So that ඒ අදහස තේරුම් ගන්න තමයි ඒක දුන්නේ. A and X group, A and X group. That's the name of the reporting entity. A and X group clear to that? A and X group. And A and D and it idea it's group 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 asset asset 31st March 2018 oh ini you have accounts cost of control account MCI account and SCN 100% acquisition. Udah gino din gud gagaw mi kono gino magaga. Ara sa rin gino din gagaw. No. All right, good. Yeah. දැන් අපිට මේ අරගෙන අපි යමු. අවසන් අවසන් Okay. There in the expression the graph will be the
Yes, yes.
Okay. Are you ready? Yes. Now you could write directions one by one. Assets, one of the assets team. PPE investment කියලා මම ලියන්නේ. Investment ඒ පොත් බලගෙන ආපු ප්‍රශ්න බලන්න. ප්‍රශ්න ගන්න මේ කම්පැනි ඔය ලියපු උත්තරයක් නේ බලන්න. ප්‍රශ්න නේද? උදා කොල්ලිමේ පොඩ්ඩක් දැන් PP මොන අකුරුද කරගන්නේ PP මොන සංඛ්‍යාවද කරගන්නේ on the page you can write it on the page you can write from the parent carrying value subsidiary fair value done සංඛ්‍යා දෙක මොනවද ඇති මොකක්ද ඒ සංඛ්‍යා දෙක 15,000 plus 15,000 plus 17,000 හරි දෙපැත්ත තියෙන දේ ගන්න හරි 15,000 plus 17,000 ඒ වගේ අපිට ඒවා ටික ලියන්න යන්න ඔක්කොම ලියන්න කොහොමද ලියන්නේ වහන්න එපා ඒ අපිට ඇඩ්ජස්ට්මන්ට්ස් එක පුළුවන් පුතා වහන්න දාන්න ඕනේ just write the numbers අපි සාධි මේ ඔක්කොම අවසානම දෙකට එහෙම හරියන්නේ නැහැ පුතා කැල්ලක දුන්නා කියලා කැල්ලෙන් හරියන්නේ නැහැ නේද steps වල පුරුදු වෙන්න steps වල otherwise you will be penalized at the exam for double entry score नहीं double entry क्या था you the main को में पहला बेच देना वो कर दीजिए अकाउंट करना तो नहीं एक ओ बताइए आपको वो बता बोलते बाहर कर सकते अरे क्या लिया डॉक्यूमेंटेशन लिया था you should write everything first cash 80,000 plus 18,000 plus 2,000 मैं कोई था भी गुडविल लिया गुडविल को लिया नॉन करंट एसेट्स इन्वेस्टमेंट तो पाले हैं करंट एसेट्स के लोग ही नहीं keep space for goodwill. There is space goodwill as well as if there are unrecognized assets, you have to have space to write. And you must have do it. It was the method of asset. In your book, yes, you should write that, but we don't have enough space here, therefore we are not writing it. But we kept 2 lines, 1 or 2 lines. Yeah, I goodwill liya ne babu tha. Tama ko goodwill liya, dakar. Kita kalpana karna. Tara ko goodwill liya na, aap ko नहीं डाल के total asset था एक और है total asset Just write equity. Just write equity. Sometimes share capital, retained earnings would be given. 26,000 plus. 26,000 plus. මොකද දැන් තමයි එන්ට්‍රි දාන්නේ නේ. අන්න ඒකයි ඩබල් එන්ට්‍රි ගිහිල්ලා නැහැ තාම. cost of control උත් හදලා ඉවරයි. goodwill හදලා ඉවරයි දැන් තමයි අනිත් ඒවා දාන්නේ. Did you write all the figures like this? Udas. Then make a good the balance flow, balance make the balance when net. And all here balance when net. To make the end balance when net again about. Then make it make a good balance when net. Huh? Balance when net. Balance when net. Live with them. Balance sheet දෙක තීස් එක එකතු කරලා ලිව්වද? එකතු කරා විතරයි. Balance වෙන්නේ නැද්ද? Balance වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හරි කොහොමද ලියලා තියෙන්නේ නේ? කොහොමද තියෙන්නේ? Right. Cost of control account. Cost of control. Cost of control. Cost of control account. දැන් පළවෙනි එන්ට්‍රි දාන්න. අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලා පාර 390 අපි ඉගෙන ගත්තා. ගන්න වෙන පෑන. Right. First entry පුතා දාන්න බලන්න. First entry. Sarath has invested. කීයද පුතා සරත් ඉන්වෙස්ට් කරලා තියෙන්නේ? 15,000. double entry දාන්න. What is the first entry? අය කොයා කියන ටක් ගාලා යාළුවෝ double entry. අපඩයි පොඩ කියලා ඉල්ලියෙන් දෙන්න. අත්තා. Cost of control. Debit 15. Are 15,000. Then he was. Huh? Okay. Huh? But then make a debit technique. This is the debit. Where to credit? Where to credit? Huh? Investments. ඉනුමක් ඕනේ නැහැ පුතා ඉන්වෙස්ට්මන්ට් එක තියෙනවද නැද්ද? මොකද කරන්නේ නේද? අඩු කරන්න. හරි. That is the මෙහෙමයි double එක දාන්න බිනුම ගහන්න ඕන නැහැ. You have to have thinking. Huh? Tackle that. The 15,000 තමයි මොන entry එකද? Credit entry. Credit entry. Cost of control debit. හරිද? තේරුණාද? මොනවද 15,000 credit entry. තේරුණාද? ලියාගෙන නැහැ. එකක් single entry දාගෙන ඉන්නවා. Oh, ini memang dari itu. Kok itu? Kok itu? Investment එක තියෙන තාක්ෂි මුඛයේදී ඒක අයින් වෙනව නැද්ද? ඒක දාන්නේ පදාගන්න කාර්යයක්. Guys. ඒක දැම්මම දාගන්න නැහැ ගොඩක් අය. ඒක වෙන පාටකින් දාගන්න ඩබල් එන්ට්‍රි. හරිද? right. Equity දැන් ගන්න මොකන්ද ඊළඟට equity double entry මොකක්ද? උදාගෙන equity double entry. Cost of control credit පුතා ලියන්න. Equity equity කොහෙද? කාගේ equity එකද? කාගේ equity එකද ගන්නෙ? රංජනී equity. රංජනීගේ equity කීයක් තියෙනවද? රංජනීගේ equity කීයක් තියෙනවද? debit එක credit එක ගහන්න ඕනේ. return credit. Cost of control credit නේ. close that. debit එක හරිද? දැන් බලන්න යාළුවට පෙන්නන්නේ ටීප් එක. Did you write it? Did you write it? Yes. Debit, credit. Debit, credit. හරිද? ෆෝන් එකේ දාන්නකවත් ආදරයක් නැහැ. මේ ස්ටෙප්ස් වල යන්නේ පළවෙනි ගාන දාමු. ග්‍රීක් වගේ සිරියස්. කියන දේ කරන්නකො ඉස්සෙල්ලා. කියන දේ කරන්න. ඉස්සෙල්ලා බෝඩ් එකේ ලියන්න කිය. ඒ ඔක්කොම ටික ලියන්න කිව්වා. ඒක ලියාගෙනත් නැහැ සමහරවිට. එහෙම බෑනේ. ඊට පස්සේ ස්ටෙප්ස් වලට යන්න. ඒ තාම බොහොම සරල ගානක්. position day normal ti මේ බොහොම සරල ගානක්. විභාගෙට නෝ නෙමෙයි. විභාගෙට parent subsidiary associate joint venture ඔක්කොම දාන්න. අරකවල ඇටදී වගේ තියෙන්නේ. මේවා හරියට fundamentals ඇතුලේ. ඒක ඉගෙන ගන්න. steps වල ගන්න attitude වෙනස් කරගන්න. දැන් මේවා ඔයා ලියාගත්ත එතන කොහොමද එන්ට්‍රි දාන්නේ කියන්නේ? ලියන්න ඕනේ. මේවා මුහුණතේ ලියාගන්න. This is the adjustment column. Adjustment column. ඒක තමයි පුතා ඒක line by line addition කියන්නේ. මේව ලියන්න කියන්නේ නිකන් නෙමෙයි. You should write. ලියන්න නැත්නම් ඉතින් මොකද කරන්නේ? දැන් කියන්නේ වහන්න ඇති ළමයි ඉන්නව මෙතන. දැන් ජෙනරේෂන් එකේ අවුලක්ද කියලා. ඊට දෙයක් අහන්න බෑ. මේක ලියන්නට අවසාන පේජ් එක එකතු කරලා දාගන්න. එකතු කරලා තා වෙලා තියෙන පොඩක් කියන්න. You should follow the steps. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක කෙරෙන්න ඕන නිසා. අර ඒක හොඳට ඔළුවට ගන්න. නැත්නම් මම ඇවිල්ලා කියන්නේ මම මෙතන කරලා යනවා එච්චරයි. තේරුණාත් එකයි නැත්නම් එකයි. විභාගයේ ප්‍රතිඵල බලනකොට ෆේල් කරලා දාන්න නැති ලකුණු නැත්නම් එච්චරයි කරන්නේ. එච්චරයි කරන්නේ. right. දැන් මොකද කරන්නේ? NCI. In this case, no NCI. So that means the NCI will ලියලා ඉවර කරන්න. NCI නෑ මේකේ. But we'll write. හරිද? ඊළඟට NCI එක. කොහොම step by step අපි යන්නේ වැඩි. මේ කරන්නේ ඕගොල්ලෝ වෙනුවෙන්. මොකද මෙයාලා කරලා තියෙන්නේ මේවා. මේ ආපහු මේ පොත් තියන් ඉන්නේ. මට ඒක ඔයාලා වැඩි කරන්නේ නැත්නම් මම කරන්නේ නැහැ. මම කරලා මේ corporate reporting වලට අදාළ ටික විතරක් කරලා නිකන් ඉන්නවා. නැත්නම් මේ ළමයින්ට පව්. තේරුණාද? NCI. දැන් ඉතින් බලන්න අද දැන් ඉන්නේ කොහොම සාපේක්ෂව අඩු ප්‍රමාණය දැන් මේ ඉන්න ටික මොකක්ද ඉන්නවනේ. ඔයාලගේ සෙට් එකේ නෑ. ඔයාලගේ බැච් එකේ. මොකක්ද බැච් එක 16D. දැන් අද වැදගත්ම දවසක්. අද වැදගත්ම දවස. උත්තරයක් නෑ. තමයි 12 විතර එයිද දන්නේ නෑ. ඒක නිසා බැච් එකේ කවුද බැච් රිප්‍රසන්ටේටිව්? කිව්වද? කිව්වා. කරන්න දෙන්නේ මම ආපහු රිපීට් කරන්නේ නෑ. මේ වාලා රික්වෙස්ට් කරපු නිසා මේ මුලින් නම් කරන්නේ. හරි. ඉතින් ඉරක් ගන්න තමයි බිඳුව නෙමෙයි. බිඳුවේ වෙන මීනින්ග් එකක් තියෙන ඉරේ වෙන මීනින්ග් එකක් තියෙන. මේක NCI නෑ. හරි. දැන් මොකද කරන්නේ? balance කරන්නේ. Now she is balancing NCI. Sorry, cost of control account generates මොකක් හරි එනවා figure එකක් එනවා. දැන් ඒ මොකද ලිව්වේ? Credit entry. Where to debit? Goodwill account should be debited. Goodwill account debit කළා කොහෙද අන්තිම මූල්‍ය ප්‍රකාශනයට යන්නේ? Statement of financial position යනවා. ඒ තමයි debit entry එක. 4000 දෙවෙනි මේ පැත්තම ගන්න පුතා. මේ පැත්තම ලියන්න. ඉරේම ලියන්න. අරලා එතනම ලියමු අපි. හරි. හරි. දැක්කද? This is the credit entry, this is the debit entry. Correct? That's it. Now what you should do? Line by line addition. Line by line addition. This data. Investment Iraq. That's investment Iraq. Then make entry down නැතිව මොකද කරන්නේ? දාපුවේ මෙතන දෙය follow වැරදි. Right? Equity කීයද? Equity 26,000. Non-current liabilities 26,500. Current liabilities 12,500. Total liabilities the main year is the Right. Asset total asset should be equivalent with liability and equity. Here then. Again, 65,000 balance. Very simple question. Very simple question. Total asset should be equivalent with total equity and 65,000. Okay, thank you very much. Go to next question. Interlock. Okay. The last year වෙලා කීයද වෙලා? අප්පා එහෙමද? හරි එහෙනම් ලන්ච් බ්‍රේක් ගමු නේද? 12ට පටන් ගමු. 12ට පටන්. 12 ඉඳන් 2:00 වෙනකම් කරමු. 2:00 යමු. 2:00 3:00 විතර වෙයි දන්නේ නැහැ. We'll start as soon as possible. අනිත් එක එන්න කැන්ටක් ගාලා ඔය අප්ඩේට් කරන්න. ඊළඟ එකේ ඉඳන් හරි අල්ලගන්න. 12 පටන් ගන්න.
That conversation, we have something then. No.
On their mind.
I guarantee
Please ask others to come. Start the lesson now. You can do practice question number 2. That's what again. 1 minute.